All right, so Sarah needed a ride again today, and might next week too. Right, we'll see. So I got home about a little bit before 8:30 and been laying down until now. And it's about 10:40 or so. Not saying I just woke up or got up either. It was a little bit after 10, right? But been doing some things to get ready, of course, right? Now, like I told you, part of my day includes sitting on the bed or laying down for 2 hours or so, an hour and a half, or right? And that's cause of back pain, right? And pain in my ankle, right? It kind of don't matter what I do, right? Either, right? Whether I do something or not, right? I told you that before too. This ain't new information. I'm 52 years old, right? All right. So this is the second video series for Jujutsu by Shidoshi. Right. I'm not sure if it's right. By now, he might have even passed away, right? I don't know. Tane Mura. Right. He's a Grand Master then, right? And the video was done in 92, right? See, what am I doing? I'm informing you something, right? About the video you may not know as a consumer, right? So I'm also showing you, some of the video, but I can't show you all the video as a clip, right? Of something I'm doing at home, right? See, when something's a clip, like you see a clip of a movie by, again, a critic, right? That's what I'm doing here, right? I don't know. Now, when he's doing a demonstration and doing it slower for you, that's not what I'm talking about with some of the techniques. But when you go under someone's shoulder, right, and spin into them with your back, you might can be hit that way. Now, I'm not saying you will or won't, right? Either you might could be, right? So as a possibility, I'm just saying don't take it for granted that the person might hit you with the left hand, right? That's all I'm doing, right? And by doing that, I'm just warning you just in case, right? I don't know, this could work, right? Might not work, I don't know, right? You gotta be fast, right? Too. And that's what you're going for, surprise, right? Surprise, surprise, surprise. Like Homer Pyle said, right? Or Jim Neighbors or something, no, right? And that's what you're going for, right? The element of surprise. The person don't expect you to do something. Well, you might be like, well, Shane, we know you take jiu-jitsu. We might can still kick your butt. Well, I'm also disabled, right? See, I'm not as fast as I used to be, which is what the point is. This is just something I used to do before I failed, right? And I'm picking it up now that I'm home all the time, right? For as something to do, right? In the meantime, right? Including exercising a little, right? Which I'll get back to that too, right? I know. I'm showing you my real day, right? In case someone is lying to you, right? Or writing to you in my name and I don't even know you either, right? See, that if someone's doing that, they're reverse stalking you like they're me, right? They're pretending I would stalk you when I never would, right? I'm trying to make sure that ain't going on either, right? I don't know now, right? Either, right? But again, right? Even the FBI can't deny fair use in copyright infringement because we're all taught the same things, FBI. My intelligence is the same as the artist. Because I could become an artist too. Even if you don't let me, or I can't afford the copyright right now, I'm still putting out my own material sometimes too. Right? I can write my own songs. Pretty good ones, I think. Even for an artist, right? I've done that before, right? On older videos still up, right? Still on YouTube under a different channel name, though, right? Like S.E. Lee 1 or whatever it was, right? I know. Right. That's still the same person. I don't look that different, right? My hair's longer. Naturally. And again, it's not fake hair, right? And then you're seeing something that ain't there, and that makes you delusional, right? See, a delusion is where you're lying to someone about something that's in the Bible. No. Right. Or it's a metaphor you don't want to see. Like the word dick is both a name, but it could also be a slang for the penis, right? It kind of means the same thing, but has two different meanings, right? A tree in the Bible can also apply to an angel and even a human being, right? Because, see, trees need oxygen, right? And, I mean, carbon dioxide. And we need oxygen, right? Trees put out oxygen and take in carbon dioxide. Now, if something has to wear a mask here, right, or looks astronomically, right, that could be a prophecy, right? You ever heard of a prophecy, ancient aliens? Right. When I know if you're in the future, right, and I'm a visitor from another planet or another reality even, right, or dimension, right, I'm warning you of a certain technological age, right, you might get to, right? If you find a plane in Peru, that looks like a plane in Peru, that's also copy a bird's way to fly. Mm-hmm. When a bird's flying, it also looks like a what? Airplane. It has wings, a head, and a tail. Don't take a bird representation and make it into a plane. Even if it looks like a plane and it can fly, right? It could just be a toy, right? Modeled after a bird, right? But as if a human could sit in it or fly, right? There's things a temple even represents, like a high mountain, right? That would explain why they made temples, right? It's not complicated unless you complicate it. And science fiction ain't no different than superstition in religion. Right. You can't be too science fiction-y or too superstitious in religion and not realize you're both doing something wrong, right? Now, a fact's a fact too, right? The fact is the truth. A lie varies from the truth, right? It don't have all the information, right? Now, if someone tells you you became as one of them to know good and evil, right? And Benny Elohim is one of them, right? Who's saying this to them, right? Adam and Eve, right? The firstborn of every creature, Jesus, right? Who Paul says, right, was in the beginning, right? Two. All the disciples say Jesus was pre-manifested before, right, he appeared in human form. They knew he was coming, right? He's supposed to be their Messiah, though some can reject him and will. Maybe till he returns, right? And Satan will drag them down the hill with him, right? That's what he's doing now, right? He created hell after he sinned with Adam and Eve. What do you think happened if someone's both, male and female, had sex with both, right? to seduce both, right? But did it differently too. He broke all 10 commandments with one commandment, right? He did not. He put his image above the image of God, which is a spirit, neither male nor female, right? A spirit ain't one or the other, it's in both, right? And if there's a third image, it's also in the third image, right? And it's still greater than both, or all three, right? But you don't know that by knowledge of man, by looking alone, right? You have to find out hermaphrodites even exist because doctors usually operate on them and make them look like a female. And few are made a male, right? Some can be made male. See, if you're like XY or something, right? Or again, right? XXY, right? Which means you have a sperm attached to a woman that was born through an angel interbreeding with us, right? And they weren't supposed to, but it created a different DNA pattern, right? After we were made male and female and reproduced that way too, right? See, when you have sex, you can die from an STD, right? Right. Oh, I don't think Satan would have an STD and seduce Adam and Eve into sex with him, not right? Or is the STD right for himself? So the first STD happened in Eden, right? Because it brought about our deaths, right? Okay. You don't get that metaphor, huh? Right? That's okay, right? Not everyone will. I tell you that too, right? I'm here because I get it, not because you ever will. It's the grace of the Lord to try and save us all, whatever's going on, right? Even if you don't understand it, and me and Jesus do, right? You're making me, though, the only true witness for Jesus, though, right? Even the 12 didn't say this verbatim, but they did hint at it too. Even Paul talked of Satan becoming an angel of light, right? And his ministers of righteousness, right? Righteousness alone, right, ain't the answer either. Or being too good, right? Even right? There's no such thing as the greater good if you got to do evil to attain that greater good, right? To someone else to get them out of the way, right? That's not a greater good. That's a greater evil, right? Now, a good person, though, can follow the rules. It's those who can't who are really the problem. One of the commandments is thou shalt not kill or murder, right? That's kind of straightforward, right? Well, the law means you can't do capital punishment on someone who breaks the law, right? But yet you say Moses gave us capital punishment because of man's sin, right? Yes, to murder each other, right? But that's why we got prisons, right, for people who break the law, right? Or fines for traffic violations, right? And again, right, things of that nature for insurance in case we get into a wreck, right? I know. And that's what the insurance is for, right? In case you get into a wreck. Now, you still got to pay the insurance whether you get in a wreck or not, right? Right? Though you hope you don't have to use the policy, right? But if you do, sometimes they give you a first strike, right? But you gotta, again, even if you do it again, your rates might go up. And again, right? That can happen too, right? And that's all that can happen, though, right? You still gotta put the insurance on the vehicle or you can't drive it. And I got insurance on the vehicle, right? And driving it safely now, right? That's the point, right? Ask Miss Sarah if you don't believe me. But see, the only people I would tell about what happened here are my shipmates or an enemy, right? If he's trying to harm me, right? You don't just tell everybody, oh, hey, guess what? I survived a car wreck in a 3-story file. Not when you first meet them, right? Right. You get to know people, right? Exactly, right. You don't bring that up the first chance you get, though, right? They don't know me yet. I might freak them out, right? But eventually you talk about it, right? As you get to know people, right? Because you know you did. Have you ever read what Paul said repeatedly about his own conversion to Christianity, right? How he once persecuted the Christians, right? Every time he talks about it, he's living in his past, right? According to you. He can't talk about his past. So that's his past, right? You also can't change your past. And anytime you tell the truth, you gotta tell the truth about your past, right? Now, I can't say I ever molested a child, not even my ex-stepdaughter or my ex-wife herself even, right? We were both adults, me and my ex-wife, and her daughter was only around me 4 days at the most, right? And I'm not sure for sure, right? I have to tell you, either I was home by Friday, which that would be 1 day, or Monday, which that would be 4 days. I'm not sure which. It was so long ago, right? I know. I don't exactly remember, right? But I wasn't around her long, not more than a weekend. And I'm on the couch because me and the wife had an argument on the way to pick up her mom about gas or something, right? She left me stranded, right? And I had to call my mom from another city, right? And go into town somewhere, right? To find a way to get home, right? Even, right? And I thought that was a deal breaker there, right? And I broke up with her, right? Slept on the couch so I could get back on base and talked to the base about getting a room on base and got a room on base. And they put me in a new barracks, right? From the old barracks, which was across the street from the new barracks, but it was a 3-story barracks, right? And then 2 weeks after, I moved in at the last week of August, and then September 15th, yeah, that's over 2 weeks, right? That's at least 2 to 3 weeks, right? Now, if someone brought it up the day I failed, right, that had nothing to do with it, right? Me and my ex-wife and all, right? Now, that's also why I would say I could have molested her, but didn't, if I'm watching SCU or shows like that, right? Plus, I've been around it, too. I dated a girl who said she was statutory rape because the guy she dated was 19 and she was 14, right? Now, most girls, though, here's a problem, too, go after older guys. Like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, for real, right? That's not just in the movies, right? And see, the thing is, though, the law protects the child, right, until they're a certain age. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. If you don't know, right? Now, I was told, though, the age of consent in Georgia is 16. I know. And all I can do is make sure that's the age of consent. That's different, right, than the girl being underage, right? I know. Now, you can't tell me 2 different ages either, right? You can't tell me 16, 18, right? And make it a rule, right? Either 16 is the age of consent or 18. Otherwise, you're confusing everybody in Georgia about how old the person has to be and who they can be with, right? And that's on the law itself, right? Now, why is it 16? Right. Though, you can get your driver's license or a certified way to get around, right? You're considered no longer a child either, right? You're not quite a child nor an adult, right? But you're old enough to drive, which is old enough to decide if you can have sex too, I guess, right? That's what I thought, right, about it, right? So that's why, again, I've discussed the idea with you, right? Now, the weird thing is, in Islam, the age of consent is 9, right? Wow, that's young, right? That's younger than we say, right? But here's the thing, even if you're Islamist, right, in Georgia, you can't engage yourself to a 9-year-old, right? Nope. You can't even legally marry one in Georgia, right? You gotta wait till they're 16, right? Now, also, in America, you can break off an engagement, right? By the way, right, there's no scripture that says a woman can't break off her engagement, right? She just has to do so before they get married, right? That's another thing you can do if you're a woman, if you don't want to get married, right? Or they don't tell you that part, right? It's mainly assumed the woman has to marry the man. There you go, right? Now, I was asking Sheena, who was 19 and I was 23. I seduced her the night before to go down with her, and she wanted to continue the date the next day, and we wound up having sex too, right? I went down on her, yeah, but I also had sex with her, and I didn't know she didn't want sex, right? She forgot to tell me or something in the heat of the moment, right? So you're supposed to tell me, right? If you're a Christian and you're even making out with me, that's unusual in and of itself, right? Most Christian women are hands off. Don't touch me till we're married, right? So that's why I thought she wanted to go all the way, right? She was willing to let me go down on her, right? Which woman is different. She has what's called the opening, right? And the opening can be caused pleasure if you use your tongue on it, right? And that's what I was trying to do, right? with her. And then I did that and stuck it in, right? I have a penis, right? I'm a male, right? Unless she thought I was a female now, right? But see, I was in a bikini, right? For a male, right? Right. They called Speedos. I don't know if she thought I was a girl because she was wearing glasses or something. I don't know. But I'm a guy. If I enticed her, she thought I was a girl. She never called me she, right? I know. I don't think. I think everybody on the ship knew I was a he, not a she, right? Well, if she wanted to go gay because her dad molested her, that can happen too. I don't know, right? And she confused me with a girl. I don't know. I was told I'm pretty. My eyes, like I had guys hit on me and told them that. So I guess, right? But see, my no will be no, right? You know, I understand how you feel, but I'm still saying, wait, so okay, right? I'll let it go, right? That's what Jesus means, right? When the disciples are picking corn, the scribes and Pharisees are ready to stone them, right? That's the punishment, right? You don't get that, even for sex sins. The punishment is usually stoning, right? Adultery with a woman or 2 men. That's what he's talking about, that adultery. Unless you think he means at all, right? A man shall not lie with a man as with womankind, right? A woman, right? At all? At all. Right. Does he say that though? Not exactly. Not exactly. Either. So what if people do feel attracted to the same sex? Well, that's dating, right? The same sex, right? It's no different than dating the opposite sex, and you can be told no, right? If you're told no, I'm not into that, you're pursuing the person against their will, right? Right? And all I know is something went wrong with me and Gina. Not why, not what. I'm trying to ask her, what the hell happened? What we do wrong? What did I do wrong, right? And she never really told me either, though I'll eventually let it go, right, of course, right? But you don't just have sex with a woman who's confused about it, maybe, right? And abandon her either if you're a good guy. Right? You give her a chance to figure out what she did wrong and what you did wrong, and really it was nothing. You just had a little premarital sex, right? And all Moses said, if the woman's unbetrothed, they're not married yet, you can ask her to marry you, right? And that's all I did, right, too. So, and she said no, right? Now I made sure for 9 months. Why? We had sex, she get that braid out, I don't know, right? But then I let it go, right? I did kind of pursue her against her will, but then I'm confused myself, right? I did nothing wrong, right, with her the day we had the sex, right? Nor did I pursue her beyond a rational pursuit, right? I don't even know what was wrong, right? I just know suddenly she's wanting me to break up with her, not write her anymore, and I'm confused, and I know I liked her. I knew I was with a her, not a him, right? I wasn't confused, I was a guy, right? Maybe she was, I don't know. But that's the situation, right? And I'm really confused because we're on 2 different ships. It's not like we could just ringy-dingy on the telephone, right, and talk about it either, right? Though they do have a way to communicate on the ship, right? But you gotta sign up for it, go through a lot of hoopla, and she's gotta be on her ship, right? And go through a lot of hoopla herself, right? And otherwise, I can't even talk to her face to face, right? Though I wanted to, right? And it seemed to be going good at first, right? Yes. Right. And I had the typical male maybe hair. Though some ladies who are masculine looking females, right, do cut their hair short. I don't know. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I wouldn't. Like Cat Stevens said, her son. Also, and I forgot his Islamic name, but Muhammad something. I forget. Sorry. But anyway, his stage name is Cat Stevens, right? I know. But that's what I mean. I ran into something I didn't expect, right? From a girl I didn't know what was wrong with her, right? And it caused me to get confused and hear voices, right? I also fasted in the Navy and I was smaller then, right? Hello. Okay. Bye.